Hello, Miss. Thank you for the opportunity that has been given to our group. So today we're going to present our mini research about factors driving trilingual code switching and code mixing during EFL student presentation on campus. But before that, let us introduce ourselves. First, I am Nadine Chandronat Putri Tonokota and my friends.
I'm Helen Dayanan.
Ada Salomina Rahyaan.
Okay, we start with the background. Academic presentations are widely used in EFL classroom because they help students develop their English proficiency, communication skills, and critical thinking abilities. During presentation, students are expected to express their ideas and deliver information using English. However, in the Indonesian context, many university students are multilingual. Besides English, they also commonly use Indonesian and local languages in their daily communication. As a result, students often draw on multiple languages when presenting in class. This multilingual practice frequently leads to code switching and code mixing, which refers to the alternation or combination of different languages during communication. Students may switch languages to explain difficult concepts, clarify meanings, or express ideas more effectively. Previous studies have shown that language alternation can be influenced by various factors, including linguistic factors such as limited vocabulary, social factors such as audience interaction, and contextual factors related to the presentation situation. Nevertheless, most previous studies have focused on bilingual language use, particularly between English and Indonesian. Research examining trilingual code switching and code mixing involving English, Indonesian, and local languages during academic presentation is still limited. Therefore, the study aims to investigate the factors driving trilingual code switching and code mixing during EFL student presentation on campus. Okay, we move to the next slide. Okay, now the research question. Based on the background and the identified research gap, the study is guided by three research questions. The first question is, what types of trilingual code switching and code mixing occur during EFL student presentation on campus? This question aims to identify the forms of language alternation used by students during their presentation. The second question is, what factors drive EFL students to engage in trilingual code switching and code mixing during presentation? This question focuses on understanding the reasons behind students' language choices. The third question is, which factor is the most dominant in influencing student use of trilingual code switching and code mixing during presentation? This question seeks to determine the factor that has the greatest influence on student language alternation practice. Okay, now the research objectives. In line with the research question, the study has three objectives. First, to identify the types of trilingual code switching and code mixing used during EFL student presentation. Second, to analyze the factors that drive students to engage in trilingual code switching and code mixing during presentation. Third, to determine the dominant factor influencing student use of trilingual code switching and code mixing in academic presentation settings. Through this objective, the study aims to provide a better understanding of multilingual language practice among EFL students during campus presentation.
Next slide, please. Okay, moving on the next slide, I would like to present chapter 2 of our study, which details the research methodology we employed. So as you can see on the screen, our methodology is structured into three main components, which is research design and settings, data and instrument, and finally the data collection procedure. Our study, let's begin with the research design and setting. Our study applies a mixed method approach, which involves the sequential integration of both quantitative and qualitative data. Specifically, the qualitative approach is used to address our first and second research question, namely to identify and categorize the types of singular code switching and code mixing, and to explore the underlying contextual factors that drive this phenomenon. Concurrently, the quantitative approach utilizes descriptive statistics to answer our third research question, which is to determine the frequencies, percentages, and ultimately pinpoint the most dominant factor influencing the student language alternation. And for the research setting, this study is conducted at English Education Study Program at Timor University, and this setting provides a naturally multilingual environment where students regularly navigate between three district languages, which is Ambonese Malay as their local language, Indonesian as the national language, and English as the target language of instruction. From this setting, we selected our participants who are undergraduate EFL student actively displaying triangular practices during their presentation. Okay, next look at the data and instrument column. So our research relies on two types of data sources to ensure triangulation. First, the qualitative data consists of verbatim transcription of the student's spoken discourse during their presentation, completed by transcription of semi-structured interviews. And the second, the quantitative data comprises numerical data, specifically the frequency counts of language alternation types and the statistical mean scores obtained from distributed questionnaire. To gather this data, we utilize three main research instruments. The first one is an audio recording and observation protocol to capture natural, spontaneous alternates in the classroom while noting situational context. And the next, close-ended questionnaire. And the third, a semi-structured interview guide. And finally, the third column outlines our systemically data collection process, which was carried out in our sequential step. The first, guiding informed consent before collecting any data. We explain the purpose of our study to the participant and secure signed consent for forms to guarantee anonymity and confidentiality. And the second is audio recording and observation. We recorded the entire presentation session while keeping classroom disruption to an absolute minimum to preserve natural language prediction. And the third, administration and the questionnaire. And the last, conducting interviews. So that covers the methodological framework of our mini research. And let's now move forward to the next slide to discuss the data analysis and result will be explained by my friend, Dian. Next slide.
Udah kah?
Beta telepon dia pun nomor yang aktif.
Ih,
Ruangan nih. Bagaimana caranya?
si baca sudah. Tapi si baca bagaimana coba? Lihat.
Paling galak sumpah. Nadine. Galak. Saya menjadi ketum penolong.
Yuk. Oke.
Wih, dia bilang dia mau record dia pulsa. Lah bagaimana lah? Jadi takar ruang.
Maksudnya gimana nih?
Tahu lah.
Tidak gasa sih. Sudah. Tes. Suara kedengar sih.
Ambil kocok. Joker dua tuh. Dia masuk lagi.
Okay, so we move to the analysis in this mini research. Besides understand this qualitative insight and core discussion. Wah,
Bisa bersih.
bisa lah.
Masih, slide-nya masih yang di sebelah.
Udah boleh mulai, Nat? Halo? Okay. Okay, so moving to this chapter, I would like to present the findings regarding our first research question. So the types of trilingual code switching and code mixing. Well, from our data corpus, we recorded a total of 135 linguistic occurrences during the student's presentation. As we can see on the slide, the most dominant phenomenon is code mixing via insertion, contributing to 40% of the total data. So this happened because students frequently insert academic English terms into Indonesian structures, such as saying, the researcher used purposive sampling untuk menentukan partisipan. Additionally, we also found a high frequency of text switching at 22.9%, where students integrated local Ambonese text like toh or Indonesian text like kan to maintain interaction and seek validation from their audience. For example, the data collection procedure must be clear toh. Next, please. Okay. To answer our second and third research questions regarding the driving factors and the most dominant one, we distributed a 5-point Likert scale questionnaire to 25 participants. So based on our statistically analysis, we ranked the mean scores of the 4 factors. As shown in the chart, Factor 2, which is message clarification and comprehension, emerged as the ultimate dominant factor with the highest mean score of 4.32. Specifically, item number 4, explaining difficult or abstract academics concept, scored the highest individual mean of 4.56. So this quantitative proof strongly indicates that when EFL students at University Patimura alternate between 3 languages, it is a deliberate pedagogical strategy to ensure that complex academic knowledge is successfully transferred and understood by their peers. Next slide, please. Okay, so to deepen our understanding, we triangulated our quantitative findings with qualitative data from semi-structured interviews. We discovered 2 major insights. First, students experience a mental block due to high cognitive load during formal presentation, which causes temporary vocabulary loss. Second, the unique trilingual context of Universitas Patimura serve as a psychological safety net. Using Ambonese Malay expressions helps reduce nervousness and builds social solidarity. As one of our interviewees dynamically stated, for example, like seringkali beta mengerti konsepnya, Tapi pas mau bilang dalam English, kata-katanya hilang. Jadi langsung pakai bahasa Indonesia atau Melayu Ambon supaya lancar. So, to conclude my part, trilingual code switching and code mixing on our campus is not a sign of language deficiency. Instead, it is a highly strategic communicative choice that balances academic delivery with psychological comfort. That's all from me. Thank you so much.
Okay, we move to the last chapter is a conclusion and recommendation. So for the conclusion is undergraduate AFL students at Universities Patimura alternate between English, Indonesian, and Ambonese Malay. Instruction is the most frequent pattern at 40.0%, followed by text switching at 22.9%, interstitial switching at 16.3%, and alternation at 30.3%, and concurrent lexicalization at 7.5%. The main motivation is message clarity and comprehension with a mean score of 4.32, followed by psychological comfort and fluency at 4.20, linguistic limitation at 3.88, and social solidarity and situational context at 3.77. The highest individual score is 4.56 for explaining difficult concepts. This confirms that trilingual code switching is a strategic tool to support understanding, not a sign of poor proficiency. And the last point is a recommendation. There are three. For the first one is for lectures. This adopt flexible translanguaging, view control, code switching as a learning aid, and explicitly teach academic vocabulary to reduce lexical gaps. And the next one is for students. Use strategic code switching to clarify complex ideas while gradually building English proficiency. Local markers can also help create a more relaxed atmosphere. And the last point is for future research. Expand the sample and scope across different proficiency levels and conduct deeper grammatical analysis of trilingual mixing. It's all from our group. Thank you.